Good afternoon to all the good viewers of this program who are watching this program with us for this week, whether it's your first time or you've been watching it on a weekly basis. And good afternoon to all those who will write in the live chat of this program. Allow me to share the link on Telegram for everybody who wants to follow us there so that they can see it live. And I can also go from there into YouTube and see the program live with you so that if there's any problems, I can fix the problem for you immediately. Okay, allow us to share with you the insights of this week so that you will have the information and we can go ahead and talk about what's going on. So in this week, we've had a very productive week. A lot has gone on. A lot has been shown and revealed. The hands of the globalists has been opened a little bit more. But we will start with the elections in Michigan. As you know, in Michigan, Donald Trump won with big numbers again, which was another slap in Namorada Haley's face. Donald Trump was able to collect 68.1% of the votes. Nikki Haley, with the help of the Democrats voting, was only able to get 26.6%, meaning there is no Republican in the United States who's supporting Nikki Haley, other than maybe a rhino. All the people that come to vote for her are Democrats who pretend to be Republicans just so they can vote that day and then change their mind again when the presidential race starts. Uncommitted, well, we have some people who are on drugs and they don't know who they're going to commit for. Most of them are also rhinos. So they're going to vote 3% there. Other candidates still on the ballot, 2.3. What can you do? Some people, they just can't take no for an answer. I mean, when Ron DeSantis says, no, I'm not running anymore, they say no means yes, and they want him to continue to run. In Michigan, there was 55 delegates to collect. Donald Trump collected 51. Nikki Haley got 4. The next link right there, you can see it yourself. I truly did not see the Supreme Court coming and having the cojones to want to make a ruling. I thought just like January 6th, they're going to just sit in the sidelines. But it's great to see that even the day before Super Tuesday, they mustered up the guts to come and pass the ruling, and they passed it 9-0, meaning the Democrats that are sitting on the Supreme Court also agreed with the Republicans sitting on the Supreme Court that Donald Trump did not do anything that would make him an insurrectionist. He did not say, do, turn into actions, physically, anything that would make him to be a person who wants to take the government out of his own hands and put it back in his own hands, as the Democrats love to tell us that that's what Donald Trump was trying to do. And they said his name has to be on the ballot. There's all the writing about it. They said this has nothing to do with the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution of Section 3, blah, 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 blah. And then we had Super Tuesday, where Donald Trump picked up 1,004 delegates. Haley picked up 89. DeSantis, who's not running, picked up 9. Well, what can you do? We keep telling you don't be stupid American, but some people refuse. They dig their feet into the dirt and want to say we are stupid Americans, and they keep voting for people that are not in the race anymore. Even Vivek Ramaswamy got 3. Then the 21 states that were voting on Super Tuesday, Donald Trump won a decisive victory in 20 of those states with big numbers like 58, 68, 70 something percent. While Nikki Haley, with the help of the Democrats in Vermont, she was able to win 1 state. Very close race. I think Donald Trump was at 45.8 something, and Nikki Haley was at 54 point something something, and almost like 10% victory, but all because all the Democrats came out in full force to help her win. That's the only reason. Democrats, no winning, no winning. And then at the same time, we had the presidential elections in Iran for the Islamic Republic of Iran, where Cockroach Khamenei will pick from underneath the tunnel a bunch of names and say, these are the names that can run. And then he will exclude some of those and allow some of them to actually run. And then you're supposed to come and vote, and they will vote on your behalf anyway. And then by the end of the whole thing, Khamenei will decide, I want this one to be president. So they will say all the votes go in the garbage, and this one becomes president. However, this year, something interesting happened. Just like the dogs that ate Qatam Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, and left just from one hand, from the elbow to the wrist, and one shin of his after his death. They ate everything else, and they had to bury just the forearm and a shin. Similarly, in Iran, the stray dogs that the government of Iran, this Islamic Republic of Iran, loves to kill, they decided to show their vote on what they think about this election. And you can see that they're urinating all over the candidation names of those who are running, showing them what they think. Even the dogs are smart enough to know when you see Satan, you piss on Satan. And that's what they're doing. In this picture beside it, with all these little areas, no, this is not a test to see if you're a robot or not. This is done deliberately because these are the voting stations that people throughout different cities in Iran had to go and vote in, and they are showing you that it is completely empty. No Iranian actually went to vote anywhere. In some areas, in some cities, you still have an internet connection problem because of the government. Hence, people can't really send out their pictures. But if we collected all the pictures for you, we would have to go on and on and on with pages of this. So we brought you a handful so that you can see how nobody in Iran is actually going out to vote. Now, the Democrats and the globalists want this picture, the knock-knock picture. They want this to be your new neighbors. They were called illegal immigrants. Now they're called the newcomers. These are the newcomers, ladies and gentlemen, the newcomers, the newcomers. No, newcomers are those who come the right way. Newcomers are those people that apply for a citizenship. When they come over, they come the right way. They find a job. They do all the right steps. They hire a lawyer. They try to fit the requirements that the United States has for people that are coming from outside of the United States to Canada, to America or Canada or somewhere else. And they follow those rulings. And those are newcomers. Those are migrants. Those are immigrants. These that you see here with the knife and all, these are all illegals. They came here breaking the law of your country. Their first action on your soil was to break the law of your country, meaning they have no regards for your laws, meaning tomorrow they will continue to keep on keeping on with the breaking of your laws, and they don't care what you think. And now you will have to add to that the respect, their authority of their religious feelings too. Meaning, if you have a church and you want to say you have a triune God, well, that will hurt their religious feelings because they don't agree with what you said. Hence, they can now come out and kill you if they want to because they don't care about your laws. And the Democrats, the liberals, are pushing for it. The socialists are pushing for it. It's interesting. I played a 5-minute video of different streets in Russia today. We didn't see one black person. We didn't see one Indian. We didn't see one Mexican or brown person. We didn't see anyone from Far East Asia, no Orientalists. There was nobody there that even resembled a Middle Eastern. Nope. All we saw was white people of Russian descent. Every street had white people. White, 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 white. How is it that the rest of the world wants to become communist and socialist, and they have all these socialist and communist ideas in their brains, and they think it's so good, and they want to emulate the communist, the socialist, and we have to give everybody a right, and everybody is equal, and everyone deserves the same pay, everyone deserves this, and everyone, and we gotta pick them by their colors, and not by qualifications, and we gotta have like 20 blacks and 20 Indians and 20 Middle Easterns and 20, Chinese and 20 Japanese and 20 Native Americans and 20 of this and 20 of that and 20 of this, instead of thinking about, do these 20s actually know the job they're supposed to be doing? Are they capable of doing it? Do they have a background in it? Do they have the knowledge that you need for that specific job? Instead of concentrating on that, that's a bad thing nowadays. We got to go with the communist idea that everybody deserves a shot and everyone should get the position. And it doesn't matter if they can do the job or not. It's the fact that we gave it to everybody. But then again, when you go back to their own countries, you don't see them doing that. You don't see them having black people in China and allowing them on the bus. No, they kick them off the bus. They're not allowed to ride the bus in China. You don't see them in Russia. You don't see them in North Korea. But then you'll have a Tucker Carlson that will go there and eat the shit that comes out of Putin's pants when he shakes his pants as he walks. And they will say, Russia has such clean streets. Russia has such good food. Russia has such clean air. Russia has such good people. They won't tell you because they don't have any illegals coming in there. And they rule their people with an iron fist. They don't tell you that part. But here for you in the Western world, knock, knock. These are your new neighbors. Look how friendly they are. Yeah. And then we go to Article 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 1 of the United Nations. And it's highlighted for you. You can read it yourself. Okay? To settle any international disputes between countries, you have to follow Article 1 of the United Nations, which is going to tell you what you're allowed and what you're not allowed to do, okay? International peace and security and justice are not endangered, and to refrain from international relations from the threat or use of force. Okay. In any manner inconsistent with the purpose of the United Nations. Okay. If you read the whole thing in a nutshell, it's talking about there are rules that you got to go by. You got to do things peacefully, okay? You're not allowed. See, right here. Peace and security, okay? Peace and security. You have to keep things in the right way. Don't threaten each other. Don't use a force. Don't say, like Putin said last week, I'm going to bomb the whole West. Oh, don't do that. Because now they're going to send more people there. Don't do that. Don't say these things. But nobody said nothing about Putin. But then this week, they went out and they support the Putin. For those who say Putin's, no, he's not part of the globalist. You don't know who globalist is, man. Globalists are in every country. They're everywhere. They don't come out to you and they tell you, hi, I'm Jim. I'm a globalist. Nice to meet you. No, they don't do that. The leaders are everywhere. As a human nature, they'll have struggle of power between themselves. But at the same time, they have a plan to destroy everybody else who's not part of their group. British military chief helped Zelensky destroy Russian warship. And this is from the UK news. This is not from the Taiwan news and the Korean news and the North Korea's Kim Jong-un. And this is not coming out of Putin. This is coming out of UK news, okay? It's the news of the United Kingdom. On this side, we have from DW News. DW says there's even clips that show, but everybody knows that in Ukraine today, the British are there. The Germans have alarmed that even the Russians have picked up on it and they're talking about it in their state media, which is news of the government of Russia in Russia, and they're discussing about different leaderships they found, they know exist in Ukraine fighting against the Russians. Canada is now saying they are going to, they're open to sending non-combatant troops to Ukraine for defense. This is coming from who? This is coming from the Defense Minister, Bill Blair. So everybody knows. France, considering placing special forces in Ukraine. So we had the United Kingdom, which is England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. And then we got Germany's in there. Canada wants to go in. France wants to go in. We have for you 7 nations who are going to go from one side into Ukraine. And then from the other side, we got Russia and its best friend Iran and Belarus and a few others who are also in Ukraine. So you got 2 different sides of multiple countries who are fighting in Ukraine. Did you ever ask yourself, Russia has a powerful army. They say they got nukes. They say they got the fastest jets. They say they got bombs as much as you like, tanks and guns and, army and whatever. Why don't they use their full force and take over the country? Why are you prolonging this into a 2 and now going into the 3rd year war? What's that all about? Why do they go so slow? Why don't you just plow in there and take it over? Like Russia did in Desert Storm when they went and took out Saddam Hussein the first time around, took him out of Kuwait, took the war into Iraq, and then destroyed them, dismantled them, imposed the no-fly zone in the north and the south, and pretty much put their soldiers there and took 2/3 of the country, and Iraq couldn't do anything about it. Why don't they do the same over here? They have the power. They're a superpower. Why don't they do it? Why are they fighting this war like, as if all the soldiers have days off? They're just standing around. They're not really doing nothing to each other. Why? And where's all the money going that's being spent into Ukraine? Who are they fighting if no one's really fighting? What's going on here? Nobody asks these questions. It is to give you the illusion that the war is a serious war. It's a long war. That way they can program your mind through news and other ways that, yes, we need to pass a law to send soldiers there because this is a war that's out of control. It's out of everybody's hands. There's no finish in sight. We need to get in there and kick one side out in order to get it completely finished. That is the idea. So Putin's doing his role, and Joe Biden and the rest are doing their roles, and they're all working for the same globalists who give them the agendas. Why they give them the agendas? Because they fund their policies. Without those fundings, these people wouldn't be able to stay in power. So they need those fundings. And then we go further down. Germany's defense ministry confirms that the authority of the recorded leaking by Russian state media, in which high-ranking military officers, security discuss aid for Ukraine. You see, they have these little spies on each other. I saw you did this. I saw you did that. Tit for tat. And the next thing you know, eventually these two get closer. And the next thing you know, boom, they hit each other and a war starts. Also this week, the grandson, this young guy, this young terrorist, is the grandson of this old mouse terrorist named Nasrallah, who hides for the last 30 years in tunnels in Lebanon, has never seen the light of day. You know, we want to be able to tell you what time is day and what time is night. Died defending terrorist ideology against the Jews. Just like this rat Nasrallah, who lost his son, now he also lost his grandson. To see a word from him. All he did was cough, 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 and cough. I mean, he's been coughing since October the 7th, and he can't seem to stop it. You know, he's been coughing and coughing. 10 more. These pictures on this side, these 10 people, they were new deaths among the Hezbollah of Lebanon that occurred this week. They keep shooting rockets, and Israel keeps shooting where the rocket came from and hits them and kills. In this smaller picture of faces, these are 228 Hezbollah of Lebanon members that have been killed since October the 7th until today. And the list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, I have to inform you people. You know, Joe Biden is going to the United Nations. He wants to pass what he feels will help his terrorists that he's created over the last 44 years around the world, mostly in the Middle East. He wants his Hamas and Islamic Jihad to survive in Gaza. So he wants to ban Israel from continuing the war and to sign a peace truce for at least 60 days, definitely during the month of Ramadan, which is coming up for the Muslims. You know, this way Hamas and Islamic Jihad can try to, you know, save some of their soldiers, regroup a little bit, get more aid of weaponry so they can attack Israel a little bit more. Try to take back some of the land that now is occupied by Israel in Gaza in order to kill Hamas. Because in war, that's what you do. In war, when you invade the other country, now you occupy that land and you move forward until you finish the government of the other country that was hostile to you and was in war with you. I mean, that's what you accept to happen inside of a war. But no, Joe Biden doesn't understand this. And he thinks that the Israelis are just invading like the way that the Islamic movement 1,400 years ago came into Israeli lands, killed off the Phoenicians, who were the real Palestinians, killed every single one of them. Today, in that area, nobody, not even one person, can speak Phoenician. Not one person knows what the Phoenician culture is. Not one person knows what dress code the people of the Phoenicians dress themselves like. Nothing. All you have is a bunch of Arabs running around calling themselves Palestinians while they eat the food of the Jews and the Lebanese, dress like the Arabs of Saudi Arabia. Culture-wise, they have the same culture as the Saudi Arabia. Speaking-wise, they speak the same language, Arabic with a slightly different dialect. They're not the Palestinians. These are Arabs pretending to be Palestinians. But yes, Joe Biden wants them to do whatever they can. At the same time, they know that once this war in Gaza comes to an end, which appears that it might be coming to an end this spring or summer, as it looks and appears that a lot of Hamas soldiers have been terrorists in reality, have been arrested or killed. It looks like they're running out of people over there. Well, for Israel, you have two problems. The people in the south and the people in the north of Israel left their homes because they got attacked at the same time during October 7th until today. They live in hotels in the middle of Israel. They want to return home. They can't until the threat nearby at the borders is taken care of. Well, for Gaza, that looks like it's going to happen soon. But for the people in northern Israel, border with southern Lebanon, that threat is a daily threat where rockets are thrown. They can't go home to a place where rockets are thrown at it, which means Israel has to. It has to. There's no choice left. It has to declare a war against the Lebanon in order to attack the Hezbollah of Lebanon in southern Lebanon. In order to do that, they will have to go to war. So meaning once the war in Gaza has ended, the war in Lebanon will definitely pick up. Islamic Republic of Iran wants to support the Lebanese terrorist organization of Hezbollah by giving them aid, weapons, leadership advice, and the whole works. That is why you see them being turned into a cutlet in Syria when the advisors from the Islamic Republic of Iran, the IRGC, show up in a neutral so-called country of Syria to teach the people of Hezbollah of Lebanon, those terrorists, how to more effectively use their missiles, how to hit and run, and all the rest of the stuff you would think they would want to know. This is why Israel has to keep shooting them and killing them in Syria and sending them back to Iran in a body bag. When that war starts, even more countries will get involved. Like China today condemns Israel. They will have to take a further stand and they will try to spin it. And they won't say that Israel is fighting the war that was imposed on them. No, they won't say Israel is fighting the war where Hassan Nasrallah had so many days where he could have come out and just made a statement and say, we will not shoot any more missiles at Israel. We are sorry. Let's just live. You on your side, us on our side. No, they can't do that. And they won't tell you that part. What they will tell you is Israel is aggressive. Israel went into a sovereign land to attack people Israel is this, and Israel is that, and Israel is this. They just won't tell you the truth. But in this channel, we let you know. With that, we'll bring this program to an end. If you like our program, don't forget, use your wonderful finger, press on that subscribe button, because it might look to you like a small action. But in reality, with that, you are forcing YouTube to advertise our program to people who've never heard it before. The more ears we open, the faster we can defend ourselves against these Democrats. And by defend, I mean pick people that will take the positions of these Democrats so that once they are in government, they don't have to lie, cheat, and steal and hurt us, the public, like the media does today. With that being said, the more people we can have listening to that, the more we can enlighten people, the more we can take this threat of a World War III away. Because with good politicians put in place, we have the ability to put a stop to the mullah regime in Iran. We have an ability to put a stop to the suit and tie mullahs that you find in the West as well. So with that being said, tomorrow we'll return with other programs. Until tomorrow's program, I leave you all in the hands of Jesus. God bless.